times did President Numps appear in the Epstein files? More than 100? More than 1,000?
No, and what we've been able to release is what we've been legally able to release, and that has been
No, that's not the
provided to
question.
public.
I asked you, how many times did the president's name appear?
I don't know.
It's your testimony. You do not know that
A
answer.
number of times, no.
Could you tell us how many agents were diverted for this task and what they were working on?
Zoe Lofgren did what no one in that room anticipated. Known for discipline and method over theatrics, she spent 28 years building a reputation on precision, not performance. Then, inside the Senate Intelligence Committee chamber, she rose to her feet. This time, she didn't just question. With cameras rolling, she began reading names aloud. Those names were tied to records Kash Patel has spent the last 11 months trying to keep out of public view. Watch his expression closely, the color fading, his hands tightening against the witness table. It wasn't a routine exchange. It felt like a turning point, the kind of moment that shifts the entire narrative in real time. If you're new here, subscribe now and turn on notifications. What unfolded in that hearing room just minutes ago is poised to dominate headlines before the hour is over. Once this clip spreads, the conversation in Washington won't just continue, it will escalate. Before the spin machines activate, before damage control floods the airwaves, you need to see what just happened. This is the moment before it gets repackaged and diluted. Let me take you inside the room. Senate Intelligence Committee, afternoon session, February 16, 2026. It was billed as routine, FBI oversight, budget reviews, counterterrorism updates, the kind of hearing designed to pass quietly. Kash Patel entered with the ease of someone who's weathered 100 hostile panels. That polished Washington confidence, measured tone, controlled pauses, the art of deflection perfected. 3 attorneys, 2 aides, thick briefing binders stacked high. Dark suit, flag pin, the rehearsed look of steady authority. He'd played this role before. He knew the choreography. What he didn't anticipate was Zoe Lofgren. For 72 straight hours, she had combed through every page of the newly disclosed Epstein files, line by line, no shortcuts, no summaries. By the time that gavel struck, she wasn't walking in to participate. She was walking in prepared to confront. All 847 pages. And she found something. The first hour unfolded exactly as scripted. Cybersecurity threats, foreign interference updates, staffing levels at field offices. Predictable questions, predictable answers. Kash Patel moved through it effortlessly, leaning on the standard Washington playbook. Calm, controlled, unshaken. Then Zoe Lofgren took the floor. No small talk, no warm-up. She opened a thick red folder, tabs in multiple colors, entire paragraphs washed in yellow, her eyes locked on Patel. "Director Patel," she began, voice steady but sharpened with intent, "I want to discuss the document release from 72 hours ago, the Epstein files." Patel's face barely moved. He had anticipated the topic. "I'm aware of the release, Congresswoman," he replied evenly. "The FBI has complied fully with all court-mandated disclosures." It was a textbook answer, measured, procedural, designed to close the door before it could be pushed wider. But she wasn't finished. "That's interesting," Zoe Lofgren replied evenly, "because the documents suggest otherwise." She lifted the first page. "These files were released at 11:47 p.m. on a Friday, a very specific hour. Director, some might say that's exactly when you publish something you hope no one will notice." A subtle shift in Kash Patel's posture followed. "The timing of releases follows legal review procedures," Patel answered. "That's not what I asked," she cut in, voice sharp enough to slice through the room. "But let's move forward, because what's inside these pages matters far more than the timestamp." The atmosphere tightened instantly. Conversations stopped. Pens froze mid-note. She flipped to the second tab. Page 47, internal FBI memo dated March 3, 2025, 3 months after you became director. She held it up. Signed by your deputy director. It orders a reclassification review of all Epstein-related materials referencing individuals currently serving in government or holding significant public influence. The silence that followed was unmistakable. End quote. Zoe Lofgren fixed her gaze on him. "Did you authorize this memo?" Kash Patel's jaw tightened, the muscle beneath his ear visibly flexing. Classification reviews are standard procedure. I didn't ask if they were standard, she cut in. I asked if you authorized this memo, the one that led to 34 documents being removed from public release. Silence. 20 seconds. In a congressional hearing that stretches into an eternity. Finally, Patel spoke. The FBI's classification protocols exist to safeguard national security and the privacy of individuals who have not been charged. So that's a yes, she replied with a slow nod. No raised voice, just precision. Then answer this, she continued. Of the 34 documents reclassified under your authority, how many include names of individuals politically connected to you? Patel didn't hesitate this time. I will not speculate about the contents of classified material in an open session. The air in the chamber felt heavier than before. You don't need to speculate, Zoe Lofgren said, her voice rising for the first time. I have the documents right here. The same files released 72 hours ago after 11 months of resistance. I've read every page. She spread the folder wider across the desk. So let me help you. I'll read the names that appear in these records, the ones you tried to keep out of sight. Across from her, Kash Patel pressed his palms flat against the table. Congresswoman, I object to this line of questioning. Releasing names without context. I'm not releasing anything, she interrupted. These documents have been public for 72 hours. Any American can download them. I'm simply reading what's already in the public domain. She glanced down. Document 127. FBI interview transcript. August 15, 2009. The room stilled, bracing for what would come next. Witness testimony from a former housekeeper at Epstein's Palm Beach residence, Zoe Lofgren read steadily. She provided a list of individuals she personally saw at the property between 2002 and 2005. The FBI logged 14 names. She paused. 10 are redacted, 4 are not. The chamber fell into absolute silence. Name 1, a prominent technology entrepreneur, multiple visits in 2003. Name 2, a Hollywood producer present at least 6 times between 2004 and 2005. Phones were raised. Pens stopped moving. She looked directly at Kash Patel. These are FBI transcripts generated under your agency's authority. Patel's face had drained of color. Congresswoman, without context, these references could... I am not finished. Her tone hardened. Name 3, a senior political figure who visited the property in early 2005. The weight of the words seemed to press against the walls of the room. The chamber erupted. Gasps from the gallery, lawmakers exchanging stunned looks, reporters typing at lightning speed. Kash Patel looked as if he'd absorbed a physical blow. Congresswoman, these descriptions are broad enough to apply to dozens of people. That's interesting, Zoe Lofgren cut in, because the original 2009 FBI report listed full names, not vague descriptions, actual names. She raised another sheet. This is the classification change log. It documents precisely when those names were stripped out and replaced. She let the silence stretch. Care to guess when that occurred? Patel remained silent. March 2025, she answered. 3 months after you took office. Leaning forward, she delivered it plainly. Did you personally order the removal of specific names to shield powerful individuals? The room held its breath, waiting for an answer that didn't come. If you're seeing this, share it and leave a comment, because what followed only intensified the moment. Kash Patel attempted to steady the room. Congresswoman Lofgren, your insinuations are deeply concerning. The FBI operates independently of political influence. That's fascinating, Zoe Lofgren replied, her tone turning glacial. Because I have evidence that contradicts that. She produced another document. An email dated March 8, 2025, from your office to the Classification Review Board. She held it high enough for cameras to capture. It lists 23 names, and beside each one, a notation. She read aloud, political sensitivity, high, reputational damage, potentially significant, legal exposure, moderate to severe. Then she looked directly at him, That doesn't read like independence, Director. That reads like protection. Patel's attorneys leaned in, whispering urgently. He raised a hand to silence them. That email is being mischaracterized. Security reviews consider multiple factors. That email includes 3 names I'm about to read. Zoe Lofgren cut in. 3 names found in the Epstein files. 3 names you attempted to bury. She turned toward the cameras. The American people deserve to know who you're protecting, Director. Kash Patel sat rigid as the room went still. First, a former cabinet secretary who served under 2 administrations. Records show 7 visits to Epstein properties between 2003 and 2006. Flight logs confirm at least 3 trips aboard Epstein's aircraft. FBI staff interviews place this individual at gatherings where, according to testimony, underage girls were present. She paused. Never charged, never publicly questioned, and under your leadership their name disappeared. Patel tried to interject. Congresswoman, the privacy rights of individuals not charged. I'm not finished. Her palm struck the desk. Second, a billionaire technology CEO. The documents outline a relationship spanning nearly a decade. Emails reference discrete arrangements and special introductions. The chamber absorbed every word in stunned silence. The room descended into chaos, whispers, gasps, phones raised as reporters pulled up documents. Kash Patel sat sweating under the harsh lights. He opened his mouth. Nothing, Congresswoman Lofgren, someone muttered. She cut him off coldly. I still have one more name to read. The third name, a Hollywood executive with deep political ties. FBI testimony from 3 separate witnesses places this individual at Epstein's Manhattan townhouse multiple times in 2004-2005. One witness, 17 at the time, gave a sworn statement describing abuse that occurred in this individual's presence. The room held its breath, stunned into silence. Zoe Lofgren fixed her gaze. Director Patel, you removed their name from the public record. You buried their identity. You protected them. I'll ask one final time. Did you personally order these removals? Did you knowingly shield powerful individuals? Did you use your position as FBI director to bury evidence? Patel remained frozen, lawyers scribbling frantically. He wasn't reading, he was staring at Zoe Lofgren like a man watching his career implode live. Finally, his voice emerged, barely audible. Congresswoman, FBI classification decisions follow a comprehensive review process. That's not what I asked. Yes or no, did you order these names removed? Kash Patel breathed heavily, unevenly. I acted in accordance with established protocols. You protected powerful people, she shot back, standing. You took an oath to uphold the law, to seek justice, to protect victims. Instead, you shielded their abusers, you buried evidence, you hid names, you chose power over truth, and now the whole country knows. The hearing room erupted. Reporters running, committee members shouting, observers on their feet. Patel sat, head bowed, hands trembling, career unraveling live. Zoe Lofgren gathered her folders. This committee will subpoena all internal communications on the Epstein document review. If you obstructed justice or suppressed evidence, you will face the consequences. The truth is coming, and it can't be buried. The chairman called a recess, but cameras kept rolling. Across Washington, those who believed their secrets were safe watched their protection crumble. 3 minutes. That's all it took for Zoe Lofgren to reveal what Kash Patel spent 11 months trying to hide. 3 names, 3 powerful individuals, 3 people who should have been held accountable years ago, 1 FBI director who shielded them. The subpoenas are coming, depositions are coming, the truth is coming. Share this. Don't let the media spin it away. This is about powerful people who abused children and the FBI director who protected them. That is the story. That is the truth. If you want to know what happens next, subscribe and stay informed. The reckoning has only just begun.